In the heart of the sprawling Galactic Cultural Center, nestled among stars and nebulae that painted the cosmos with ethereal colors, Jack Starbright adjusted his suit and swallowed his nerves. He stood at the edge of a sleek circular room that hummed with the quiet murmur of the galaxy's elite, a motley assembly of alien council members whose scales, feathers, and bioluminescent skins flickered in the dim light. This was the nerve center of intergalactic arts, and today it felt like an arena. Jack, a filmmaker with a flair for dramatic stories, was not usually daunted by audiences. But these were not ordinary viewers. These were the critics of the Galactic Federation's Cultural Council, arbiters who had seen the art of 1,000 planets and found most wanting. "Human films are mere child's play," scoffed Grix, a senior council member with deep-set eyes and a chitinous exoskeleton that clacked when he moved. His voice carried across the room, drawing a chorus of agreement that echoed around the curved walls. Beside him, Zira, a younger member from a species known for their empathic abilities, remained silent. Her vibrant eyes, however, flickered towards Jack with a glint of curiosity. Jack cleared his throat, clicking the remote in his hand to start the presentation. "Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings," he began, his voice steady despite the flutter in his chest. "Today I present not just a film, but a window into the human spirit. Tears of Titan is a narrative woven from our history and dreams, set against the backdrop of Saturn's mightiest moon." A ripple of laughter cut through his words. "History and dreams? Sounds like a bedtime story for hatchlings." A council member jeered, his tentacles waving dismissively. Jack's face warmed, but his resolve hardened. He pressed on, the first scene of his film flickering to life on the screen behind him. It depicted a war-torn landscape on Titan, where human soldiers and alien mercenaries clashed under the shadow of Saturn's looming rings. But it wasn't just a war story. It was a tale of love across worlds, of sacrifice and the quest for peace. As the clips played, showcasing elaborate battle scenes interspersed with tender moments of human connection, the room's atmosphere shifted subtly. The earlier mockery quieted down, replaced by a reluctant fascination. When the lights came back on, Jack faced the council, his gaze defiant. "Human storytelling may seem simple to you," he admitted, "but its simplicity captures universal truths: love, loss, the struggle for peace. These are emotions and experiences shared across the cosmos." Grix clicked his mandibles, preparing to dismiss the presentation. But before he could speak, Zira stood up. Her voice was soft, but carried a compelling undercurrent of strength. "I propose we include Tears of Titan in the Galactic Film Festival lineup. Let's not judge too hastily. Art, after all, deserves a chance to speak for itself." The council erupted in murmurs, some scornful, others thoughtful. Grix glared at Zira, but eventually nodded stiffly. "Very well. We will see if this human blockbuster can hold its own at the festival." As the members filed out, Zira approached Jack, her expression earnest. "Your film, it intrigues me. Don't let their skepticism dishearten you. The festival will be the true test." Jack smiled, his earlier anxiety melting into cautious optimism. "Thank you, Zira, for believing in the power of human stories." She nodded, a mysterious smile playing on her lips. "Everyone loves a good story, Jack, even those too proud to admit it." As Jack packed up his equipment, the weight of the opportunity ahead settled on his shoulders. Tears of Titan was no longer just a film. It was a mission, a bridge to connect humanity with the stars through the universal language of emotion. The festival would be their proving ground, and he was ready for the challenge. The Galactic Film Festival was an event that spanned light years in influence, transforming the grand auditorium of the Cultural Center space station into a vibrant tapestry of interstellar culture. Beings from countless worlds, each with their unique aesthetics and traditions, filled the auditorium to the brim. Amid this cosmic diversity, Jack Starbright's human-made film, Tears of Titan was set to debut, surrounded by hushed debates and curious whispers. On the day of the screening, Jack paced behind the stage, his nerves tingling with anticipation and dread. The auditorium buzzed with a mix of excitement and skepticism as alien spectators took their seats, their varied forms casting eerie shadows under the bright lights. Zira, who had become a mentor to Jack in navigating the complex politics of the Federation, offered a reassuring smile as she joined him backstage. "You've done all you can, Jack. Now, let your work speak for itself." Jack nodded, taking a deep breath as he peeked at the crowd. He could see Grix in the front row, his imposing figure a stark reminder of the scrutiny Tears of Titan was under. As the lights dimmed, the film began with a panoramic shot of Titan's rugged, icy landscapes, war-torn yet strikingly beautiful under Saturn's looming presence. The opening scene set the tone, depicting a poignant moment between a human soldier and an alien mercenary, their fleeting truce a testament to the film's message of universal peace and shared suffering. Initially, some in the audience chuckled or whispered derisively at the human-centric narrative and the special effects, which, while sophisticated by Earth standards, differed from the more advanced holographic technologies preferred in the galaxy. However, as the story unfolded, the mood in the auditorium shifted perceptibly. The plot of Tears of Titan wove through intense emotional arcs and breathtaking visuals of space warfare. But at its heart, it was the deeply human elements, love, loss, the resilience of the spirit, that began to resonate. The central storyline followed the human soldier and the alien mercenary as they navigated their biases and histories to forge a bond that symbolized hope amid despair. Midway through the film, a particularly moving scene unfolded where the soldier and the mercenary shared their reasons for fighting. The soldier showed a hologram of his family back on Earth, explaining his fear of never seeing them again, while the mercenary revealed her species' history of displacement and survival. In the darkness of the auditorium, some of the earlier skeptics were now silent, absorbed in the narrative. Even Grix, who had expected to dismiss the human film outright, found himself drawn into the complexity of the characters' emotions. As the film reached its climax, with a daring mission that would decide the fate of Titan's warring factions, the audience was captivated. The final scenes, filled with sacrifice and a bittersweet victory, left a palpable emotional impact in the air. When the lights came back up, there was a moment of stunned silence, quickly followed by a spontaneous, thunderous applause. Jack, standing at the back of the auditorium, felt tears prick his eyes as he watched the standing ovation. Around him, even the toughest critics, including several council members, were visibly moved, some wiping away discreet tears. After the screening, the atmosphere was abuzz with animated discussions. Many aliens approached Jack, their previous condescension replaced by expressions of respect and admiration. "You've shown us something profound today," one alien filmmaker said, his voice reflecting his surprise. "Your story, it's universal, isn't it?" Jack, overwhelmed by the reception, managed a grateful smile. "I hoped it would be." "Thank you." Even Grix approached, his earlier disdain softened by the film's impact. "Human, Jack. Your film, it speaks a universal language. I was mistaken in my judgment." The evening continued with many such exchanges, as Jack found himself at the center of newfound appreciation for human creativity within the galactic community. As the festival drew to a close, Jack and Zira stood together, looking out at the crowd. "You started more than a conversation today, Jack," Zira remarked, pride evident in her voice. "You might just have started a revolution." The film screening at the Galactic Film Festival had concluded, but the reverberations of Tears of Titan were just beginning to unfold throughout the vast auditorium. As the audience members slowly rose from their seats, many lingered, their usual brisk departures replaced by reflective pauses and quiet discussions. The atmosphere was thick with a newfound respect for human creativity, a stark contrast to the skepticism that had permeated the room just hours before. In the dimming lights of the hall, Jack Starbright stood somewhat apart, his eyes scanning the crowd for the familiar faces of critics who had earlier mocked his work. Among them was Grix, who had led the earlier dismissals of human film. The senior council member was now deep in conversation with Zira, his gestures uncharacteristically subdued as they spoke earnestly amongst themselves. Jack approached, hesitating a moment before Zira noticed him and waved him over with a warm smile. "Jack, come here. There are some thoughts Grix would like to share with you." Grix turned, his demeanor no longer dismissive, but contemplative. "Jack," he began, his voice carrying a rare tone of humility, "your film, it has opened my eyes. We judged without understanding, laughed without seeing. I see now the depth of your stories, the universality of your emotions. I owe you an apology." Jack, surprised by the candidness, nodded appreciatively. "Thank you, Grix. That means a lot coming from you." Around them, other council members and festival attendees began to join the conversation, expressing their admiration for Tears of Titan and curiosity about the human perspective on art and emotion. "Your film transcends simple entertainment," commented an alien artist, her luminescent skin flickering with her words. "It's a bridge, a dialogue in the language of the heart." As the group talked, Zira leaned in towards Jack, her voice low and encouraging. "You've achieved more than just acclaim tonight, Jack. You've sparked a dialogue that might change the course of this festival and our council's approach to art from all corners of the galaxy." Indeed, the discussions that night spilled over into the following days. Panels and workshops, previously dominated by other species, now welcomed human speakers and filmmakers eager to explore the themes Jack had so poignantly captured. The festival, once a daunting arena for a human artist, had become a vibrant stage for cultural exchange. The chapter closed with Jack, standing before a new audience, ready to discuss the making of Tears of Titan in a packed seminar room. As he looked out at the sea of diverse beings hanging on his every word, he realized the power of his art to unite, to teach, and to heal. He started his talk, his voice steady and inspired. Every story, no matter where it comes from in the universe, holds a truth waiting to be shared. Let's continue to learn from each other. In that moment, Jack Starbright was not just a filmmaker, he was a pioneer, leading humanity into a new era of galactic cultural integration. As the Galactic Film Festival drew to a close, the impact of Tears of Titan continued to ripple across the galaxy. In the weeks that followed, the Cultural Center buzzed with renewed vigor, its corridors filled with animated discussions about human films and the unexpected depth they offered. Jack Starbright, once an outsider in the interstellar community, found himself at the heart of a cultural revolution. At a cafe within the Cultural Center, Jack met with Zira and several other council members who were previously skeptics but had become curious about the potential of human art. The cafe, a melting pot of alien species, served as a backdrop to their lively conversation. "Jack, your film has sparked something extraordinary," Zira remarked, her eyes bright with excitement. "There's talk of a special human film showcase at next year's festival. We'd love for you to curate it." Jack, sipping on a steaming mug of a popular galactic brew, nodded thoughtfully. "I'm honored, truly. It's a testament to how art can bridge galaxies. But I want to ensure it's not just about human films. Maybe we could include a section for collaborative works, films that blend elements from different worlds." Grix, who had joined the gathering, grunted in agreement, a sound Jack had come to recognize as approval. A fine idea. It would encourage more of our filmmakers to explore human themes and perhaps co-create. This could be the beginning of a new tradition at the festival. The conversation soon turned to the practical aspects of organizing such an event. Ideas were exchanged, plans sketched out, and commitments made. Jack's proposal for collaborative projects received enthusiastic support, marking a shift in how the galaxy viewed human contributions. Several weeks later, Jack was invited to speak at the Intergalactic Arts Symposium, a prestigious event attended by artists, scholars, and critics from across the universe. Standing on the stage, Jack looked out over the crowd, his heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement. "Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings," Jack began, his voice echoing in the vast auditorium. "When I first introduced Tears of Titan at the festival, I hoped it would resonate with at least a few of you. But what happened went beyond my wildest dreams. It showed me that our emotions, our stories, are universal, even if the worlds we come from are not." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Today, I propose we take it a step further. Let's collaborate. Let's create together. Let's show that the galaxy, vast as it may be, can be united through the art of storytelling." The applause that followed was loud and heartfelt, reverberating through the hall. After his speech, many attendees approached Jack, expressing their eagerness to collaborate. Ideas were shared, contacts exchanged, and the foundations for new projects laid. Months passed, and the Human Film Showcase became a reality. It was more successful than anyone had anticipated, with films from Earth and collaborative works drawing large crowds. Human themes of love, courage, and resilience, once mocked, were now celebrated, their richness acknowledged. At the showcase's closing ceremony, Jack unveiled his latest project, a film co-directed with an alien filmmaker from Zeta Reticuli. The film, Bridges in the Stars, told a story of two species from different planets who, despite their differences, found common ground and friendship. As the festival ended, Jack stood beside Zyra, watching the crowd disperse under the starlit sky of the space station. "We've started something special, haven't we?" he mused, his eyes reflecting the stars above. Zyra smiled, her gaze also turned skyward. "Yes, we have, Jack. And it's only the beginning. Who knows? Maybe one day, we'll see a festival where no one remembers that there was ever a time when human films were mocked." Jack laughed softly, his heart full. "That's the dream, isn't it? A galaxy united by stories. And to think, it all started with one human movie." Subscribe for more interesting stories.